Let's get a move on. Now, despite past tensions with China, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also favouring dialogue over discord and said differences between Bharat and China were natural but stronger cooperation was in the interest of the two neighbours for global stability. In a podcast with Lex Friedman, the Prime Minister emphasised that both Bharat and China should engage in a healthy and natural competition. He added that competition is natural, but there should not be conflict. Disputes should not or differences should not lead to disputes. Now, instead of discord, PM Modi advocated for open communication and dialogue, which he sees as the only way to build a stable, cooperative relationship, adding that the recent border tensions are being addressed to restore normalcy and highlighting the strategic importance of both Bharat and China and their relations. PM stressed that cooperation is not only beneficial but essential for global stability. This century belongs to Asia, and Bharat and China have to be together in this growth spurt to ensure that Asia prospers, and because of that there is global stability and the world prospers. He highlighted the fact that Bharat and China once contributed over 50% of the world's GDP, showcasing their historical, economic and cultural influence. The PM further said that when two neighbouring countries exist, occasional disagreements are bound to happen. And hours after PM Modi emphasized that New Delhi and Beijing should engage in healthy and natural competition while ensuring differences do not escalate into disputes, the Chinese mouthpiece Global Times welcomed PM's stance. And then you have Zhu Feihong also coming out and saying, yes, we do agree with what the PM has said, and we agreed. We accept his pragmatic approach. India building positive momentum, the PM has said, and they've also said that we would like to continue to take this entire conversation forward beyond, like similar to the Kazan Summit of Leaders. Let's go across to Ainar Tangen and Lieutenant General Satish Dua, who are with us. General Dua, your point of view on the Prime Minister's, candid acceptance that there are differences, but we have to ensure that they don't, escalate into dispute. This is the biggest hint of de-escalation, and can we expect the Dragon or the PLA to reciprocate?
Anand, not only in the last 5 years, but India and China have always maintained, they've always engaged at military level, at a working group level. There are different mechanisms. We have different perceptions of our LAC. But the fact also remains that for more than half a century, we have not fired a shot in anger. Our patrols have come across with each other, and sometimes the exchanges have gotten into a shouting match, sometimes they've gotten into a little more physical. And one such manifestation that we saw after this 2020, May 2020, when PLA tried to change the status unilaterally, there was a bigger standoff, and Galwan also happened, Pegong Solek, those operations happened. But at the end of it, we have continued to maintain that dialogue. And at different levels, at a military level, talks have been going on. There have been more than 20 such dialogues from then. We have sorted out differences at many flashpoints. In fact, last two bristling points that are left of the Sang and Demchok are also have nearly been sorted out there, and patrolling is going on over there. Now, the Prime Minister has also made this statement. All he says is that we want to continue dialogue. Their differences will remain, and we have managed to coexist with differences for the last so many decades. And I won't repeat the Prime Minister's words. You brought out the gist that both these countries can do much better. Both are poised for much bigger roles, and we need to iron out our differences and continue to engage in trade with each other despite these differences. So I think all in all, with his chemistry with President Xi Jinping, let's hope that we will be able to resolve problems by discussion.
Ainar Tangen, your thoughts on this?
Well, I agree. Right now, it makes most sense. We're in a situation where Europe is declining economically. The U.S. is in turmoil. No one would have thought a few years ago that anyone would suggest that Canada become the 51st state. So things have changed dramatically. And I think there's a realization that Asia is, This is where things are happening. This is where the wealth is moving. This is where you have manufacturing, and an Asian century is, cannot exist without India. This is something Xi Jinping said in 2013, that the key to the Asian century is India and China working together. And I think this is the first start. There's going to be disagreements. There are obviously, China's footprint has expanded. There has to be an understanding about areas of influence, but these things can be worked out at the table. As we've seen, it doesn't work when you try to do it on the battlefield in the Ukraine or in Gaza, places like this. So at this point, I think this is extremely positive, and I hope that both leaders will take this to heart and use this as an opportunity.
General Dua?
Yes, I totally agree with that. I was talking of tactical steps earlier, but the fact remains, and like my co-panelist said, we have seen this in Russia, Ukraine. I mean, war only brings destruction. It is very difficult in today's world to achieve decisive victories. And I think rather than get embroiled in war, we can fall back, that is, India and China can fall back on the fact that we have not exchanged a shot in anger for last so many decades, despite our differences, just because we kept engaging. And now, as we enhance the level of engagement, if we are looking at an Asian century, if both these countries set aside their differences, I think we've got a great potential to realize.
Well, let's hope that we can work together, because we share an open border, a border that's not defined, two great nations who share an open border that's not defined. And significantly, there have been ingresses made on the other's sovereign territory based on claimed perception. Now, if this continues, then there will not be any friendship, and animosity is only going to hurt both nations. I hope both understand this, and while each pushes their own nation's agenda, it's not at the cost of the other's interests. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you for your time. Have to move on. I got big news coming through on Bangladesh also at this point. A potential crisis is brewing in Bangladesh army as a deep rift has emerged between the army chief and a top general, we are given to understand, raising concerns about external influences and the military's future role in the country. Now, at the heart of the tension lies a clash of ideologies and allegiances, intelligence sources have revealed to CNN News 18, and that's been shared with us by our Group Editor, Investigation and Security Affairs, Manoj Kumar Gupta, that reports say that Bangladesh army is divided in pro-ISI and pro-Awami League factions. There are reported differences between the army chief and the quartermaster general. The quartermaster general Fazur Rahman is reportedly under house arrest after a failed coup attempt. Fazur Rahman has earlier met Pak ISI chief Lieutenant General Asim Malik. Now, the meet has been seen as a snub to the army chief Waqaruzzaman's authority. Fazur Rahman has been seen as pro-Islamist and pro-Pakistan. The army chief also seen as leaning more towards India. Intel sources further revealed that Army Chief General Waqaruzzaman has hinted at a potential coup in Bangladesh, expressing concerns over the country's stability and sovereignty. He warned of a potential threat to the nation's independence, implying that the country might be under external influence. And according to top intelligence sources, amidst the turmoil in Bangladesh, ISI Chief Lieutenant General Asim Malik's visit to Dhaka, the first such visit in decades, is raising security concerns for India. The visit, officially aimed at creating an intelligence sharing network, is seen as a sign of Pakistan's ambition in the northeast. Intelligence assessment suggests that the ISI seeks to exploit divisions within the Bangladesh army, which is split between those loyal to the Awami League and those aligned with Islamist factions. The ISI aims to cultivate ties with student groups capable of disrupting elections and potentially destabilizing the government. Sources further reveal that ISI reportedly wants to delay elections in Bangladesh and that the move is allegedly to keep Muhammad Yunus in office. The ISI chief was welcomed by Bangladesh Army Quartermaster General Lieutenant General Fazur Rahman. Now, Lieutenant General Rahman is believed to be close to the Islamist factions or the fundamentalist factions in Bangladesh and faces serious allegations related to destruction of evidence and enforced disappearances. Sources added that allegedly he wants to use Jamaat cadre to create unrest in Bharat. So clearly not all is well within the Bangladesh army. We're going to take a very, very short break. When we come back, it's a straight, candid conversation with a journalist who's been relentless in her pursuit of truth for nearly 4 decades, tracking the arms scandal that robbed Bharat. Chitra Subramaniam takes the right stand. Stay with us.